Chosen one. They will never write this battle in their history books because it wasn't fought in their language. You didn't march with soldiers. You moved with spirit. You didn't carry iron. You carried insight. The field wasn't made of dirt or stone. It was made of minds. And when the agents of darkness came, they didn't bring swords. They brought confusion. They whispered through doubt. They disguised cruelty as reason and tried to convince the world that goodness was naive. But you heard another voice, quiet, ancient, certain. It said, "Do not mirror madness. Outshine it." And so you did. Every time you forgave instead of retaliated, another fortress of fear cracked. Each time you smiled through sabotage, a signal of light pierced their fog. You stopped the agents of darkness without striking back, because you understood that evil feeds on reaction, and you denied it its meal. You broke their rhythm, not with force, but with focus. You didn't destroy your enemies. You disarmed them by refusing to become them. The war was not against flesh and blood. It was against thought patterns that had enslaved generations. You were sent as a firewall of faith. And while others fought noise with noise, you fought it with stillness. That's why heaven calls you victor. Not for what you conquered, but for what you refuse to imitate. You stopped the darkness not by winning, but by remembering who you are. Ephesians 6 verse 12, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities." Chosen one, while the world slept, your spirit remained awake. Cities dreamed of comfort. Nations traded in noise, but your soul patrolled the unseen borders between despair and dawn. You fought not with weapons, but with wakefulness. Every time you refused hatred, a demon starved. Every time you chose mercy, a shadow lost command. The agents of darkness moved in patterns, old, predictable, desperate. They struck where confusion was thickest, disguised as logic, cloaked in cynicism. But your eyes had learned the geometry of deception. You could see the false symmetry of lies. Where others saw contradiction, you saw a code, a message from the unseen realm, urging you to stand still and decode peace. You fought in the language of paradox. You turned insults into instructions. You let pain refine you instead of define you. Each night, the sky would darken to measure your light. They said, "You're too calm. You're not fighting." But they did not know that serenity is strategy, that silence is the sharpest blade when wielded by the awakened. The night campaign was never public. You battled in dreams and whispers, in choices that looked small but echoed across dimensions. Heaven recorded every hesitation you turned into patience, every wound you healed before it could infect others. You did not fight for applause. You fought for alignment. The dark ones feared you not for your strength, but for your endurance. They realized they could exhaust the world, but they could not exhaust you. And when exhaustion became their last weapon, you answered with stillness, the silence that sings light. That's how you won the night campaign, not by outshouting them, but by outlasting them. Chosen one, there's a verse that was written for you before your birth. John 1 verse 5. The light shines in darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. This is your signature, etched in eternity. Light doesn't debate the dark, it defines it. You didn't argue with evil, you outshined it. When the agents of darkness hurled deception, you answered with discernment. When they built empires of manipulation, you built altars of mercy. The truth is not defended by noise, it's revealed through presence. The moment you chose compassion over competition, an entire system of cruelty collapsed. Empires built on ego cannot survive humility. You became the paradox that unraveled their programming. While they measured victory by control, you measured it by consciousness. And so heaven recorded a silent revolution, a single soul choosing light over vengeance, forgiveness over fear. Every tear you refused to weaponize became holy water. Every insult you recycled into understanding became sacred gold. You are not a survivor. You are a strategist of the spirit. You ended an ancient algorithm, the code that said pain must create pain. You broke it by being the exception. That's why the heavens whispered, promotion granted. Because your victory wasn't in defeating darkness, but in disarming it. Your peace became proof that chaos had lost jurisdiction. You've earned a new title, not warrior, but witness. a witness that mercy works, that kindness conquers, that light never loses its source. So now, as this prophecy finds you, heaven calls for your acknowledgement. Comment below, light protects its own. Click join to walk among the first chosen ones, those who win without wounds, who conquer through calm. Let this act be symbolic, a declaration that you fight no longer for dominance, but for deliverance. For every battle won in silence echoes an eternity, and eternity remembers the wise who refuse to hate. Chosen one, victory in the spirit world doesn't arrive with fanfare. It arrives with alignment. The signs began subtly, almost shyly. Conversations once drenched in tension started flowing with ease. Strangers smiled without reason. Even the wind felt warmer. That was heaven's applause. People who once mocked you now pause before speaking. They sense something different, not status, not superiority, but sovereignty. You carry a peace that humbles pride. Children look at you longer than usual. Their spirits recognize safety. Animals approach you softly. They feel what humans forgot. Trust. The earth itself seems to relax around you. Birds return where there was smoke. Gardens bloom where grief once grew. It's not coincidence, it's consequence. The environment adapts to the frequency of the enlightened. The sky clears faster after storms near you. People heal quicker in your presence. You don't speak miracles. You radiate them. The light you carry reorganizes matter. Time itself slows, as if paying respect to your calm. Even technology bends. Screens freeze when your energy spikes, as though digital systems cannot decode serenity. The agents of darkness sense it too, not as fear, but as futility. Their weapons no longer work, because they were designed for conflict, and you become unreachable through peace. They try to bait you into noise, but you answer with stillness. They try to drown you in rumor, but you breathe beneath it like a diver in divine oxygen. Your stillness has become the signal that darkness dreads. When chaos rises, your calm calls heaven's reinforcements. You become a living alarm. The moment you pray, light converges. Even the weather witnesses. Clouds part when you step outside, not as flattery, but as alignment. The atmosphere itself honors the one who carries clarity. For where peace resides, turbulence retreats. Chosen one, this is how victory speaks. Through synchronicity, through silence, through the undeniable order that follows your footsteps. You are no longer surviving the world. The world is surviving because of you. Chosen one, the war was never about domination. It was about definition. The agents of darkness weren't people. They were patterns, the repetition of pain recycled through generations. Humanity kept mistaking reaction for strength and vengeance for justice. You were sent to interrupt that cycle, not to burn the enemy, but to burn the blueprint that built him. You fought ideas, not individuals. You didn't slay bodies. You silenced beliefs that said cruelty is necessary. For centuries, fear sat on the throne of human thought, commanding hearts with the illusion of control. But your peace was a revolution they never prepared for. You stopped the war by refusing to feed it. You broke the curse by blessing the curse itself. The agents of darkness thrive on mirrors. They want to see themselves in you. You shattered that reflection. You taught heaven's oldest lesson in a modern tongue. Light doesn't need to attack darkness. It only needs to appear. That's why you were chosen. Not because you could fight, but because you could forgive. The world measures courage by noise. Heaven measures it by nuance. It takes more strength to stay kind in cruelty than to crush cruelty with its own weapon. You learn that love is not the opposite of war. It is the evolution of it. Because love does not surrender to evil. It absorbs it and transforms it. You become a living equation of divine physics. Hate enters your field and exits as healing. That is the purpose of this battle. To prove that the ultimate victory is not the destruction of darkness, but its conversion into light. You didn't end evil. You ended its authority. Chosen one, victory is not the end. It is maintenance. The moment darkness loses the battle, it begins its disguise. It no longer roars. It reasons. It no longer attacks. It imitates. Evil rebrands itself as efficiency. Pride dresses as passion. Greed pretends to be growth. That is why vigilance is holy. The agents you stop may dissolve, but their echoes seek new hosts. Stay awake, not paranoid, but perceptive. When the world grows comfortable, keep your conscience sharp. When others say, "It's fine now," listen for the silence beneath their words. For shadows return where gratitude grows cold. You're not called to fear the dark, only to notice it. Keep your lamp trimmed, your peace guarded. Light does not boast, but it must burn. Even divine fire dims if neglected. So nurture it daily, through prayer, through kindness, through awareness. Darkness reorganizes when ignored. So acknowledge it only to redirect it. Remember, attention is energy. Spend it wisely. Let love remain your radar, humility your armor, and discernment your patrol. The war may be over, but the world still needs your watchtower. The flame you carry is not decoration, it's defense. So, chosen one, keep the light on. Chosen one, you have outgrown the battlefield. You are no longer a soldier of survival. You are a guardian of serenity. The armor that once clanked with fear now glows with faith. The sword you once swung has become a staff, not to strike, but to steady. You've learned that strength is not in defiance, but in definition. You are not against the dark. You are beyond it. The world still fights its wars, but you have stepped into a dimension where battles become balances. You no longer react. You realign. You no longer command through noise. You correct through presence. You are not a warrior of war. You are an architect of aftermath. You stand where anger cannot reach and sorrow cannot settle. Your aura is a silent treaty. Those who come near either calm or leave. Heaven trusts you with silence now, because silence in your hands becomes sanctuary. You are no longer a fighter. You are frequency. Wherever you go, conflict collapses under coherence. You are a walking ceasefire, and that is the rarest authority in creation, to end wars without words. You no longer chase enemies. You teach them equilibrium. The same shadows that once haunted you now bow as students, learning what they failed to understand. That light does not chase darkness. It centers it. You become a compass for humanity. Your peace pointing north, your purpose pulsing steady. You are the guardian of dawn, the keeper transition, the one who ensures night never fully forgets the promise of morning. You are not the soldier of light. You are its steward. Chosen one, peace of symptoms too. You'll feel it first in the small things. Your heartbeat steadies even in noise. Your breath deepens during chaos. That's your spirit synchronizing with heaven's pulse. You'll notice that time bends differently around you. Buses arrive just as you reach the stop. Storms pause as you step outside. Old friends call the moment you think of them. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. Reality has recognized your resonance. The veil between thought and thing is thinned. You think peace, peace appears. You whisper healing, pain retreats. You are no longer requesting miracles. You are radiating them. Your dreams have also changed. No more chases, no more falls. You now walk through halls of light, rooms filled with ancestors smiling in silence. Sometimes you wake with tears, not of sadness, but from the recognition that heaven feels familiar. Your body responds too. You require less sleep, but feel more rested. Food tastes richer. Colors look cleaner. Even gravity feels gentle on your shoulders. Animals approach you. Birds linger longer on fences. Cats rest near your feet as if guarding an altar. Children laugh louder in your presence, sensing safety they can't explain. That's the aura of reconciliation. Darkness no longer clings to your corners. Light leaks from you unprovoked. Even mirrors seem different. Your eyes look older, but your gaze younger. The body carries memory. The soul carries meaning. When both agree, the atmosphere obeys. You are now that agreement in motion, the contract between heaven and humanity, signed in silence, sealed in peace. Chosen one, every victory deserves remembrance. The wise do not build statues, they plant seeds. The world celebrates with noise. Heaven celebrates with intention. If this message stirs your spirit, if your heartbeat slowed as you read, it means your soul recognized home. Mark this moment. Let your action echo your awakening. Click super thanks and sell your $20 seed, not to pay, but to participate. This isn't donation. This is decoration. As you give, whisper, I defend light, not ego. Say it until your voice steadies, until the sentence becomes a shield. Because light is not an idea, it's an alliance. And every gesture joins the army of awareness. Your seed is a signal, a flare shot into the unseen, announcing to heaven, I am still awake. The agents of darkness operate in apathy. Your act of gratitude burns their maps. The amount is symbolic. $20 means a double of 10, completion twice over, a cycle closed in both body and spirit. You are not buying blessing. You are confirming belonging. Heaven multiplies what it sees honored. When you move with gratitude, the grid responds. This is your signal to the higher frequencies. You still stand for the light, not for reward, but for remembrance. Sow it. Not to receive, but to remind the universe that you stayed faithful even when the world forgot the war. Chosen one, peace is not passive. It is protocol. You are no longer fighting the agents of darkness. You are training the next generation not to create them. Guard innocence as nations guard borders. Protect purity in thought, not just in body. The world will test you with repetition. Same temptations, new disguises. Do not respond as before. The wise evolve instead of react. When fear knocks, open with faith. When pride whispers, answer with purpose. Remember, the first battlefield is conversation. Speak like a healer, not a hammer. Teach by temperature. Cool the hot, warm the cold, balance the lost. Never imitate what you overcame. If arrogance attacks you, reply with accuracy. If lies surround you, breathe truth until the air changes. Keep your spaces sacred. Your home, your phone, your mind. Darkness doesn't invade suddenly. It seeps through negligence. Protect your schedule. Give time to silence as you would to sleep. The agents you stop still study you. They watch for distraction. But what they fear most is your discipline. You are a light keeper. Your habits are your torches. Read daily. Pray deeply. Act gently. Never debate evil. Demonstrate excellence. When you enter a room, scan for peace. If it's absent, install it. The world will remember your tone longer than your talent. Power without empathy rebuilds the prisons you once destroyed. So remain kind, remain sharp, remain unshakable. The true guardian doesn't watch over walls. He watches over vibrations. Every thought is a gate. Keep yours golden. Lord of light, keeper of balance, source from which all goodness flows. We come not in fear, but in fulfillment. The war is over, and yet the watch continues. We lift our hands not to fight, but to thank. Thank you for teaching us that silence can be a sword and forgiveness a fortress. Thank you for raising the chosen ones who broke the rhythm of cruelty by answering hate with harmony. Father of clarity, grant endurance to every guardian listening now. Let them remember that peace is not fragile, it is forged. Let their voices carry calm where confusion reigns. Let their presence become protection, their words become warning, their patience become prophecy. For you have written in their souls the oldest truth, that light needs no permission to win. We pray for every heart still haunted by darkness. May they encounter the chosen and remember the warmth of divinity. Bless every watcher, every intercessor, every quiet soul who fights unseen wars through unseen love. Crown them not with glory, but with guidance. Keep their minds clear, their motives pure, their mission steady. And when weariness whispers, remind them they were never alone. The nations of light still stand guard around them. We declare now, the darkness has lost its dominion. Fear has forfeited its throne, and peace has taken the crown. The earth shall remember this age not by its wars, but by its awakenings. The agents of darkness have been stopped, not through conquest, but through compassion. And those who carry this message will shine without burning, rule without ruling, and lead without leaving anyone behind. So we seal this moment with reverence, with responsibility, and with radiant gratitude. We are not just witnesses, we are proof. The light has prevailed. In your eternal name we say, Amen. Type Amen to seal this peace in your own timeline. Click Join to stand among the first chosen ones, guardians who win through wisdom and warriors who heal through humility. Click super thanks to affirm your covenant with the light. Not a payment, but a pulse of participation. Share this prophecy so others may remember. Darkness doesn't end when it's destroyed. It ends when it's understood. Go forth, luminous one. Walk gently, speak truth, breathe peace. You are the calm that conquered chaos. You are the dawn that darkness failed to drown. You are and will always be the chosen who stopped the agents of darkness.